Hello and welcome to the 30-day yoga challenge. Today is day 1 and we are working towards crow pose and headstand. Don't worry if that sounds a little inaccessible right now. I will offer lots of different options so that you can find a way to experience the pose in a way that works for you. When you're ready, we'll begin lying down on our backs. So when you lie down, hug your knees into your chest, and you can start by taking a gentle rock side to side, beginning to find a deeper breath. And if it helps, as the knees draw in one direction, you could inhale and then exhale as the knees go to the other direction. Open the arms into a T shape. Keep the legs tucked. Then with your next exhale, let your legs fall to the right side in a controlled twist. Start to engage your abdominal muscles as the legs draw to the side. Then use your inhale to lift the legs back up through center. And exhale as the knees go over to the left in a controlled twist. They don't have to come all the way down to the ground. It's just somewhere to aim for. A few more times. Inhale, lift the knees back up. Exhale, control twist to the right. Inhale, back up. Exhale, twisting left. Once more to each side. Move in time with your breath. And try to really slow down the twist. You start to feel that connection to your abdominal muscles. Inhale back up. Exhale, twisting left. Come back up through center. Then hands can come to the knees, hug the legs in close to you. Then start to rock backwards and forwards. Build a little bit of momentum so that you gradually work your way up into a seated position. When you get there, bring the hands to the backs of the knees, sit back and lift the feet to come to boat. Relax the shoulders, and this could be option number 1, staying here. Option number 2, you could straighten the legs. And if the balance is there, the arms could reach forwards. It's also worth noting here, if your tailbone is a little sensitive, you could place a rolled up blanket underneath you for a little added support. Focus your gaze ahead of you. Find that steady breath. Good. 2 options now. You could either rock forwards to come into tabletop or swing your legs around. So whichever one is friendliest for your knees. Then set your knees in tabletop. And we'll start with a wrist prep sequence that we'll be moving throughout the whole challenge. So this is position 1 with the fingers facing forwards. Then position 2, spin your fingers to face the sides of the mat. If it's accessible, you could keep spinning them around so that they face towards the knees or thereabouts. Then position 3, flip the hands and bring the fingers to point towards one another like so. Here, press the tops of the hands into the mat. And then go back to position 1. Flip your hands so fingers face forwards. A few more times. Position 2, spinning the hands around. Pause for a breath in and out. Position 3, flip the tops of the hands so fingers face one another. Pressing the hands into the mat. Pause for a breath in and out. Then come back to position 1. One more time. Position 2. Pause for a breath. Position 3. Holding for a breath. Then come back to position 1. Spread your fingers wide and grip through your fingertips. Tuck your toes and hover your knees off the mat so they're just a couple of centimeters off the mat. Then walk your feet in so you're aiming to bring the knees as close to the backs of the forearms as you can. If you can bring them to touch, that's great. If not, it's okay. And then step them back into your hovering tabletop. A few more times. Walk the knees forwards to tap the backs of the forearms. And then go back. 2 more times. Keep gripping through your fingertips. Final time, walk the feet forwards. And then this time you'll extend your legs back to walk into plank. Hold for breath in. As you exhale, rock forward, setting up for your chaturanga. You could always lower the knees if you're modifying here. Then bend the elbows, keep them close to the sides of your body as we lower down with control. Coming down to the belly. Keep the hands back so they're close to the lower ribs. And with an inhale, use the strength in your back to lift the chest. Try to keep the weight out of the hands so you're not pushing with the hands, you're lifting with the back. Pause. Breathe here. Good. Exhale, push up to tabletop. Tuck your toes, slowly pick up the hips, move back to downward dog. You can keep the knees bent, heels off the mat to begin. And just start to pedal out your downward dog. Just feeling your way into the pose with each step. And you can be as free with your movements here as you like. Move in any way that helps you to wake up those parts of the body that may still feel a little tight or a little tense. And looking forwards, you could hop, step, or jump to forward fold. Exhale all the breath out in your fold. Then inhale, lift halfway. Fingertips could stay on the ground or come to the thighs for support. Exhale, fold forwards. Step to plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga, modifying if you need. Go really slow through the movement. We build strength by going slower. Then inhale, this time you could take cobra or perhaps upward dog, rolling onto the tops of the feet if you're feeling ready. Exhale to downward dog. Pausing, 5 breaths here. Perhaps this time you work towards straightening the legs. And if you'd like to feel more sensation in the backs of the legs, walk your feet further away from you. Good. Look forwards, then step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Coming into lizard lunge. Keep the back knee lifted for now. Come up onto your fingertips for support. Inhale. Exhale, step your back foot to the outside of the left hand. You can sink your hips down a little bit, not quite into malasana, but just a squat position as we're still warming up. Pause for a breath in. Exhale, right foot steps back as you find lizard lunge. Keep the back knee lifted. Inhale. As you exhale, plant your hands, step to plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga, going slow, modifying if you need. Inhale to find your back bend of choice. It could be cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale to down dog. Pause. Take a full breath in. Exhale out. Look to the top of your mat. Hop, step, or jump to forward fold. Exhale all the breath out in your fold. Then bend your knees, sit your hips back like you're sitting in a chair, and reach your arms up. If you're arching your back, like I know I have a tendency to do, think of tucking a tail in between your legs so that you tilt your pelvis back and lengthen the lower back here. This can also encourage you to draw navel to spine and engage your abdominal muscles. Shift the weight back through the heel, sink the hips a little lower. Good. Then hinge from your hips, bring your belly towards your thighs, and keep that connection of belly to thighs. As you bend your arms, bring your elbows in front of your knees. Press the arms into the legs. Then keeping the right elbow in connection with the right knee, step your left leg back. And the left arm can just stay in place as it is. Keep pressing the elbow into the knee, keeping that compression of belly to thigh. Pause for a breath in. Exhale out. Good. Then stepping the left foot forwards, coming back to your chair position. Press the left elbow into the left knee. And step the right leg back, keeping the right arm in place. Pause for a breath in. Exhale out. Step the right foot forwards, come back to your chair position. Then reaching the arms up again, making any adjustments you need to with the spine. Pause for an inhale. Exhale, left foot steps back to high lunge. Inhale here, open the chest. Arms reach up. Exhale, plant the hands. Push the floor away and lift your right foot to bring the knee towards the nose. Pause here. If you're needing to modify, left knee could always come down, but try to hold. Inhale. Exhale, extend right leg back for a one-leg plank. Pause here. Again, left knee could always be down. Hold for a breath in. Exhale, lower the foot down. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, find your back bend of choice. Exhale, down dog. Hold for a breath in. With your exhale, hop, step, or jump to forward fold. Then bending the knees, sinking the hips back. Inhale, chair pose. Make any adjustments you need to. Then shift the weight into the left foot. Right foot steps back to high lunge. Inhale. Open your chest, reach your arms up. Exhale, plant the hands. Get ready to push the floor away as you lift your left foot. Bring knee to nose. If you're modifying here, right knee could be down. Focus on bringing the thigh towards your belly as you pause for a breath in. Exhale, extend the leg back, one leg plank. Right knee is down if you're modifying here. Hold for a breath in. Exhale, lower the foot down, plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, find your back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pause for a breath in. Exhale out. Then looking forwards, you could hop, step, or jump to forward fold. Exhale all the breath out as you fold here. Then use your fingertips for support as you bend your knees, lift your heels, come into a crouching position. Then plant your hands on the mat in front of you. And you can choose to take your knees just above the elbows or perhaps higher up the backs of the arms. Just test it out. See what feels best for you. Pick up your hips and shift your weight forward so you begin to feel the weight is in the hands. And it may be that you just hold this here. If you're more familiar with crow, you might like to practice lifting one foot, alternating, lifting the other. Then perhaps you could find a little bit of balance as you lift both feet. If you're really quite comfortable with your crow, perhaps you press through the hands, extend the arms to come into crane. Keep your gaze focused. Weight is forwards through the fingertips. Hold for a breath in. Exhale, slowly come out with control. Then come into a forward fold. Bring hands to opposite elbows. Little bend in the knees as you rock side to side in ragdoll. Just using this as a way to reset, to let go of any expectation. Good. Then inhale, lift the chest halfway. Fingertips could be on the ground or on the thighs for support. Exhale, step to plank. Holding your plank position here, come down to your forearms, and you can either keep the forearms parallel or you could interlace the fingers, clasp the hands together, which I find is really helpful because then you can press the hands into the ground a little easier. Try to bring your awareness to your body, creating one strong line. So if your hips are piking up, think of tucking your tailbone like we've been doing in chair. Press through your elbows, hold. Good. Lower your knees down. Come into tabletop. And take a moment to snake the spine, waving from side to side. Again, just using this as a way to reset, working out any of the kinks. Good. Then from your tabletop position, walk your knees further forwards. Bend your elbows, and as your elbows bend, you're aiming to keep your elbows in line with the wrists here, so that when you bring the crown of the head down to the mat, you've created a stable base. So we're trying to create a triangle from head and hands, and you may just need to do this a few times until you find that placement that feels about right. If the head is really sensitive here, you could also rest on a blanket, but not too thick because it can interfere with your balance. So from that place, tuck your toes, pick up your hips, and this may be as far as you take it, just getting used to having more weight on the head. If so, take 5 breaths here, then rest in child's pose. If you're feeling more comfortable, walk the feet in, and it may be that you work towards getting the hips over the shoulders. If you're super comfortable here, it may be that you bring the knees to the backs of the arms. So you're coming into a crow pose, but with the head down. And if you're super comfortable there, and you've practiced this with me before, then focus on pushing the floor away. See if you can lift the knees off the arms to come into a tuck position. Focusing on keeping the thighs, close to the belly. So we're really working your compression strength. If you feel your elbows are escaping out to the side, squeeze them in, keep them parallel. Hold for one more breath in. Exhale, we'll come down and take child's pose. For this child's pose, rest the arms by your side instead of reaching them forward, so you can let the shoulders completely relax down the back. Then start to deepen your breath, signaling to your body that now is the time to rest as this practice begins to shift gear. Reach the arms forwards and come into downward facing dog. Lift the right leg high and open out the hips, stacking right side over left. And then bend the knee. Maybe you turn the head to look under the left shoulder. See if you can find your foot. Pause. Lift the knee a little higher. Inhale. Then with your exhale, look forwards. Bring the right knee to the back of the wrist. Lower the leg down to set up for pigeon pose. Edge the back leg down the mat. Place a support underneath the right side of the buttocks if you need. And then walk your hands forwards. Make a pillow to rest your head in. And find stillness. Lift yourself up. Sit over on your right side. Bring the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Then rest the left hand or forearm on the inside of the leg. And reach the right arm up and over, finding a side body stretch. If your head is needing some support here, then the left hand could create a cradle to rest your head in. Inhale, lift yourself up, and we'll take a side stretch in the other direction just to counter. So place the right hand by your side. With an inhale, pick up the hips, and the right leg creates a kickstand for support as the left arm reaches overhead. And you could also turn your chest open to look to the sky here. Just pause, steady your breath. Slowly lower the hips down. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting the left leg, opening the hip, bending the knee. And as you lift the knee a little higher, gaze under the right shoulder. See if you can find your toes. Inhale here. Exhale, sweep the left knee forwards to the back of the wrist. Lower the leg down. And edge the back leg down the mat to come into pigeon. Support yourself. Place a bolster or a blanket underneath the left side of the buttocks if you need. Then walk the arms forwards to lower down. And take the first few breaths here just to signal to your body that now is the time to relax. With each exhale, see if you can soften the body a little bit more. Lift the chest and sit over on your left side. Then bring the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Rest the right hand or forearm on the inside of the leg as you reach the left arm up and over, bending to the right. Support your head with the right hand if you need. And come back to your breath. Inhale to lift up. Place the left hand by your side and pick up your hips. Create a kickstand with the left leg as the right arm reaches overhead. Option to turn your chest open as we bend in the other direction to counter the previous pose. Deep breaths in and out. Slowly lower the hips down. Turn to face the front of your mat. And you can swing both legs around. Come and lie down on your back. As you lie down, hug the knees into the chest. Hands can come to the knees or the feet here, as you have the option to take happy baby if you prefer. Just gently rocking side to side. Release the hold of the knees or the feet. Extend your legs down the mat and relax your arms either side your body. And just take any final movements to adjust yourself before we settle in for Shavasana for the next few moments of stillness. Deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back to your space. Start to move your fingers and toes. Hug your knees into your chest and roll onto your side. When you're ready, join me back in a seated position. Just keeping the eyes closed for now. Rest the hands on your knees and sit up tall. Align your head with the base of your spine. Take a deep breath in. Lift the shoulders up to the ears. Let that tension build. And with your exhale out, roll the shoulders back and down. Just letting go of anything that you've been carrying. Any built up tension. When you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you so much for your time and your energy. I hope that you enjoyed day one of the challenge. I'm so excited to share the rest of the classes with you, and I really appreciate you coming on this journey with me. Thank you again. I will see you for day two.